Hey everyone, welcome back to the Payout Playbook, your go-to show for all things college football betting. Remember, I'm your host, Mikey Pick'em. Michael Jascott's my real name. And today we're breaking down the biggest matchups for Week 4. It'll be a short podcast, but we'll still get you some information in the picks, so don't worry. So far this season, we were 15-12 against the spread and with over-under, so successful thus far. Last week we had Indiana, Illinois over 52.5, that's a win. Apple Cup, Washington minus 20.5, that's a win. Nebraska plus 2.5, that's a loss with Michigan in town. And then Miami minus 7.5 versus Florida, that's a win. One game that I'm not going to bet on this week, but I'm certainly interested in, is the Florida State-Virginia matchup. The rebuilt Cavaliers are 3-1. They can score some points. So I really can't wait to see how that game goes. Florida State is in Charlottesville, and they're favored by 7. All right, let's get to this week's picks. First, Notre Dame at Arkansas. Notre Dame is favored by 4, and the line for the total is 64.5. Both teams hitting the over like crazy this season, and Notre Dame in the last 5 games, they've all hit the over. Arkansas the last 3. But I feel something in my gut. I'm going to go with the under. It's due. The under is certainly due. Then we got Georgia Tech heading to Wake. Wake Forest coming off a bye. They're 14-point underdogs in this matchup. Georgia Tech's first road game since the season opening win at Colorado. Something caught my eye here, and I'm going to take Wake plus 14 at home. Remember, they're coming off the bye. 14 points is a lot of points at home. But Georgia Tech is talented. I'll give them that. But I'm just going to take Wake here. My Ohio State Buckeyes meeting the Huskies out there in Seattle. Ohio State's favored by 8 points, and the total line is at 52.5. I'm going to hit the under on this. I think it's going to be sort of a grind-them-out game. I know both teams can score. I don't have doubts about that. I don't have any reservations about that. But just something about, Julian saying, a young quarterback heading out to Washington. Just gut feeling again. And I've learned making bets that gut feelings can be just as good as an hour-long analysis. So I'm going to go with Ohio State, Washington under, and maybe hit -8 for Ohio State, favored by 8 as well. Okay, we got Jacksonville State favored by 4. 4-point underdogs on the road at Southern Miss. Both teams are 2-2 straight up and 2-2 against the spread. I'm taking Jacksonville State +4 on the road. When these teams met last season, Jacksonville State won 44-7. Enough said. I think that's enough analysis for this matchup. All right, the second biggest game of the week. We'll see what the biggest one is so far. Is Georgia, Alabama, Crimson Tide heading out there to Georgia. Georgia hasn't beat Bama since 2022, But something here is telling me that after that loss at Florida State, the Tide are a bit off. I'm probably not the only one sensing that. I know they handled Wisconsin and they're coming off a bye, but Georgia looks pretty good too, and they're also coming off a bye. Give me the Bulldogs -3.5. All right, we have Oregon, Penn State. What a juicy, delicious matchup. Oregon is a 3.5-point underdog. The Quack Attack in Happy Valley. I'm taking the Ducks because I don't trust Penn State in any big games thus far. And the Ducks as underdogs? Yeah, give me those points. I think we may win this one straight up. But I'll take the points anyway. Okay, that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Payout Playbook, an express episode. Not a lot of time in my hands right now to be doing big analysis. And also, like I mentioned before, sometimes gut feelings are just as good as analysis that takes a long time to do. So we'll see what happens this weekend here. And good luck with your picks, your bets, and we'll see you next week. Enjoy Week 5.